C213 here, and this is a little bit unexpected, but just yesterday I received two packages from Samsung. Now, despite the fact that the orders that I had placed were supposed to arrive in 2 days from now, I can't complain. So what we've got, of course, is the Z Fold 5, I think is in this larger box, and then the Z Fold, and the Z Flip 5 is in this box here. Now, this is just going to be an unboxing video. This stream isn't going to be super long. It's just kind of something I wanted to get out for you guys so that you guys can take a quick look. I'm going to be doing a more in-depth comparison video, an overview video, and stuff like that for each one of these phones with regards to comparing them to the older models and also giving you my full review. Obviously, just having received these, I haven't even opened the boxes yet, so kind of can't really give you an honest review. Now, that being said, let's go ahead and take a look in these boxes. Now, I'm going to wait just a little bit because I want to see if we get a few more people to join in, but I'm not going to make this stream real long, like I said before, because I just want to make this stream for documentation purposes so that you guys can check out the video as possible. Film and cut and edit and put everything together. I'm not going to get this video out as quickly as I could for you guys, so I just want to get this out for you. But for sure, if you join in now or if you see this later, comment below if you personally decided to upgrade or to get the Z Fold 5 or the Z Flip 5. For your Fold guys and girls, I'm going to say if you have the 4 or even the 3, probably not worth it to upgrade. There's not a whole lot that's improved. One of the biggest improvements I've heard from people was the hinge. We're going to find out when we open the box in a minute if that's the case, if that's really true. But the crease is pretty much the same. The display aspect ratio is the same, which to me actually isn't a big deal. I know a lot of people are complaining, oh, well, I really need a bigger screen on the front, but I think it's okay. On the Z Flip 5, however, I don't care which generation of Flip you have, it is a massive upgrade. Of course, as you know, has a much larger display. So I'm going to just give it another, 20 seconds maybe, and then we'll probably jump in the box and just kind of take a look what we got. But yeah, it's, the one thing I can say too is, the pricing. Samsung really needs to adjust the pricing on these. The only good thing, these are still very expensive phones. The only good thing they did was this year on the Flip, I believe the base storage was increased from 128 to 256. So finally, you're no longer going to be stuck with a 128 gig phone. I know it's crazy to think about, back in the day. I remember when the iPhone first came out, the 8 gig model was the massive one. That's a massive amount of storage. But times are obviously very, very different these days, and for them to be asking the kind of prices they ask for even the Flip and to have the storage start at 128, that's to me, that's kind of unacceptable. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into these. I think we'll start with the smaller box. I think this is going to be the Flip. Again, I might have to just take this. I'll move that out of the way. I might have to take this box off screen just in case my info is in there. So let me just take a quick peek. I promise you guys, I'm going to just grab my info out of here and then I will, there we go. So that is the Flip. So, okay. All right. All right. Just took my info out of there. Everything else is the same. There is a special discount code on the back of this card, so obviously I'm going to probably save that, but if you guys order, you'll probably get the same 40% off gift code or coupon or discount code. Yeah, it just says use the QR code and use your exclusive whatever. So I mean, I guess it's a nice touch, but like I said, it still doesn't make up for the fact that these things are expensive as hell. So this year when I bought these, no accessories. I didn't get anything, except any accessories to go with it. other than the S Pen for the Z Fold 5, but that's coming in a separate package. I don't think that's arrived yet. But with the Flip and the Fold on their own, I didn't get any cases or anything crazy like that. So we'll just take a look here. You know, as always, Samsung uses pretty nice packaging. So unlikely this thing is damaged. All right, there it is. And a little disappointing thing that I was going to say real quick. I don't know if you guys remember last year, all right, and I will be doing more of a comparison later in the stream, but this is, of course, my Z Flip 4. And as you can see, it's got special colors. It's kind of the green and black version. And that's because on the Z Flip 4, they had the bespoke edition, which basically you could customize your Z Flip 4 to look, you know, in whatever color combination you wanted. Unfortunately, they seem to have discontinued that option, and going forward, the Z Flip 5 and definitely the Fold 5 don't have that option. The Fold 4 didn't even have that option. To me, that's a huge disappointment, especially considering how premium these phones still are. You know, we're talking base price $1,000, you know, for a mid-level storage option on this thing, easily, you know, $1,200. And then, of course, if you've got the Z Fold 5, you know, the Fold is really expensive. And if anything, the way I see it is, if one of the phones was going to have a bespoke edition, I would probably say it would be the Fold, considering how expensive it is. But, you know, they don't really offer that anymore. So give me 1 second, guys. All right. Yeah, I just had to get something to sit down on because I'm actually sitting behind the camera. I was trying to sit on the floor, but it was a little uncomfortable for my foot here. So anyway, let's go ahead and open up our Z Flip 5. Now I got this one in the black. All right, actually we don't even need the knife on this one. I got this in black, and this is the 512 gigabyte model. So that is the largest storage option. They had some interesting colors, but you know, I kind of went really boring this year. I just got the black for both of them. So let's take a look. Interesting. So the paperwork and all that is on top this time. I don't remember if that's the way it was last year. So, you know, you have to excuse me if I totally forgot and it's the same way it was last year. But you can see the cutout for your cameras. And let's see, what do we get in here? Yep, obviously just our USB-C to USB-C cable and a quick start guide. That is it. You know, I hate to sound like Flossie Carter, but Samsung, you know, that's unacceptable at this price. You're asking all this money, and you won't even give us a charging brick, so that's unfortunate. All right, let's take a look at the phone itself. So again, there's not a whole lot in the box. That's pretty much it. So let me move that out the way. All right, so here is the Z Flip 5. Okay, how do they want us to open this? From the back here? Okay. And then, oh, I see. Okay, we could probably pull it from here. All right. Again, there's not a whole lot design-wise that separates, let's see, this from the previous generation. So there we go. I mean, it's a pretty phone. Oh, and there's a little bit of a sticker there. Let me see if I can get that off. All right. Now, it looks like they went back to a glossy glass. If I remember correctly, last year, I want to say, I think it was, if you got the black, I know with the Z Flip 3, the Z Flip 3, I mean, you could get if you got black, you got frosted glass, but if you got any other color, it was glossy. I don't know if that's the same case here. Let me see this. So this one I don't think was black. Actually, this is called graphite. I can't remember if that was the only option. I don't know if they still had black. I know with the Z Fold 5 that I have, I did get it in black. Yeah, so as you can see, this is the big difference on the Flip 5. So we're going to go over that in a minute. Obviously, this isn't a setup video, so I'm not going to be going through the OS or anything like that, but we'll go over that. Just to give you guys a little side-by-side, let me grab the Z Flip 4 here. Clean some of the dust off of it. So there's the Z Flip 4. And of course, like I said, this is the bespoke edition, but and it actually looks like they increased the size of the borders right here. It almost looks like the Z Flip 3, the way it is. On the Z Flip 4, they actually reduced the size of the aluminum bezels of near the hinge, but it seems like they increased the size again there. Everything else looks very much the same. Same little antenna cutout there. Let's see, is it any smaller, bigger? Nope, same size. SIM tray. Well, those magnets are pretty strong. Other side. Yep, our power button and fingerprint sensor look to be the same size. I'm just trying. Sorry if I'm not on camera. I'm just trying to see with my own eyes here. Maybe it's a little bit smaller. It's hard for me to tell. What do you think, guys? Maybe it's a little bit smaller. Your volume rocker, same size there. Camera bump, let's see. So obviously different orientation, right? Given the larger screen, so they had to change the orientation there. But yeah, I think they do stick out a little bit more. So I don't remember if that's because they made the device actually a little bit thinner, or if that's because the actual modules are improved in any way, or if they have any more optical zoom. I wasn't super closely following the Z Fold or the Z Flip 5. I was more interested in the Fold, but nonetheless, the biggest thing obviously is the increase in the screen size on the front. So we'll just do a quick boot up. I'm not obviously going to set it up right now, but we'll just see if it has any power. If it does, maybe we can get that front screen to show you how big it is. Yeah, so there you go. And we'll do the first fold. Oh yeah. That hinge, hey, I got a comment from Poker. How you doing? Good to have you on the stream. So I know a lot of people were talking about the hinges on these new models, and we'll take a look at the Fold when we unbox that next. There's something I can't really put into words, so let me just do a quick comparison here. So this is the Flip 4. I'm gonna move it back and forth here. All right, now we'll do the Flip 5. There is a springiness to it, so it has some spring to it, and yet it is fixed in place. So it's much more sturdy. When you set it at a particular angle, it stays. And yes, the 4 did the same thing, but there is a kind of a rough kind of grittiness to it. Let's see if we hear anything weird, because I know some people were saying that the sound was different. Okay. Yeah, my Flip 4 never actually made any of those weird plastic crinkly noises, but I know some people really complain about that on the Fold 4 and stuff like that. So they said that was a big improvement. Let's listen on the Flip 5. Yeah, there's nothing. And it's, again, really hard to explain because it's something you just have to feel. But when I am flipping or folding this thing, it just feels much lighter. Like there's less drag while simultaneously feeling like a more accurate and precise hinge. So basically, if I set it to a particular point, it feels like it's very much exactly there, and it's not like it's going to drift a little bit up or down from where I want it. Again, if you guys are watching, definitely give the stream a like. Maybe this will get out to more people so that we can get them in to see this live. Obviously, this will still be going up after the fact as well. So, okay, let's see if we can get the front display to show us anything. Oh, okay. Look at that. All right. So just to compare, right? That is the size difference on the display. So there is a massive size difference. This display goes all the way down there, and then it just has a slight cutout for the cameras down there. So it's kind of an unusual shape. But I think if you have a flip of any generation previous to this, this is absolutely a worthy upgrade. In addition to the strengthened hinge or whatever they said, the screen alone to me is worth it, because this makes the phone entirely usable from this outside display. So between the stock setup, and then also if you want to download from the Galaxy Store and all that, you can download the launcher. I forgot what it's called. I think it's Cover Display Launcher or whatever. But basically, it allows you to run almost any app on the front screen. And at that point, the cover display becomes a great asset for using this phone and using this smaller screen. Even though it's larger than the previous one, it's still way smaller than that inside display, and it's going to give you great battery life too. So I think this greatly increases the versatility of the front of your phone from just, oh, let me take a look, what does this say, to let me see my notifications, to, yeah, let me just do some tasks on my front display, never even have to open the phone, and then really only open it when you want to, when you want that full smartphone experience. But when you want something that's easy, I mean, I have small hands, and like I can reach all the way across the screen from any corner without doing any crazy maneuvering, right? That's a beautiful thing. And if you've got this in your pocket and you go, hey, I got a notification, you can just pull it out, take a look, oh, okay, whatever. And then if you really want to, pull out a full keyboard and go crazy and respond to a bunch of messages or emails, then you flip open the phone and you do it there. Otherwise, you could leave this thing closed and just do it right here. So that's the Z Flip 5. So let me go ahead now. We're going to open up I'm going to leave this kind of in frame, but I'm going to put these back here. And then let's go ahead and take a look at the Fold 5. Oops, sorry, guys, I hit the tripod there. All right. So this is the Fold. Again, I'm going to do the same deal as the other one. I'm gonna check for my information inside, because there's usually a package list in there, or a invoice. Let's take a look. Okay, let's take my packing slip out. And all right. Okay, guys, so same setup as before, 40% off, coupon code on the back. And I just want to do a real quick comparison off screen. I'm going to check, and they are indeed unique codes. So that's kind of why I didn't want to, obviously show the camera, because I might want to use these. But if you do order your phone, especially if you... All right, well, I'll see you later. It was nice catching you on stream. So let's take a look. But yeah, if you guys order, you'll definitely get the same coupon, assuming you get it within the initial pre-order or early order phase. I imagine, in a month or two, they're probably not going to include that anymore. Same packing materials. All right, take a look. And there we are, Z Fold 5. All right. So now this Z Fold 5 is, let me just check on the color real quick. Yeah, this one's called Phantom Black. So this one is actually black. Not, this one was graphite. And The Phantom Black, this one is not just any Phantom Black, it's the one in the 1 terabyte configuration, similar to my current Z Fold 4. This is also a 1 terabyte model. You know, I film a lot of videos and stuff like that, so since they got rid of the SD card slot, it's kind of, for me, a necessity to have extra storage. If they had like a 750 gigabyte model, that actually might be okay for me. I just need a little bit more than the 512, and usually I'm just like constantly bumping up against that max limit. So the 1 terabyte gives me, all the space I need, but it might even be a little bit overkill. But that's what they got, and so I definitely went with this. I don't think they'll ever bring it back, but if they did, I would love if they brought back the SD card slot, especially in something like the Z Fold, because it's such a, it's marketed in a lot of ways as like a work-oriented device. Like, it's your do everything. It's a phone, it's a tablet. You can use it like a laptop almost. I don't know about that, but you know what I mean. It's a very productivity oriented device, and to me it's a shame that they don't have an SD card slot, especially when, come on guys, we know there's space in there. Right now they do want to push the storage options, and I get that, but hell, I'll even say, if you wanted to, right, Samsung, if you wanted to ensure that people only paid for the storage and all that other, give me the only option to get the micro SD card slot on the 1 terabyte model, right? Even if you did that, for me, as a content creator, as somebody that's constantly recording stuff and transferring files, having that on the, like, I would pay for that. You know what I mean? I already buy the 1 terabyte model, so I would gladly get the 1 terabyte model, especially if it had the micro SD card slot. That's like, boom. Even if you guys sold a 750 gig model, I would buy the 1 terabyte model just to get the micro SD card slot. So, that's my little rant. But well, let's go ahead and open this thing up. So, same setup with the box. And again, we'll take a look. This is Phantom Black as opposed to graphite. Okay, there we go. Let's see what we get in here. Probably exactly the same stuff as the Flip, just larger. Yep, just a USB-C to USB-C cable, and then a quick start guide. So, nothing special, nothing fancy, nothing we haven't seen before. So, I'm gonna move that to the side. Oh, and then of course your SIM ejection tool's up there. Oh, interesting, right? So let's go ahead and take a look. I'm gonna lay these out. So obviously my phone is in a case, but I have my Z Fold 3 right here. And we're gonna do a little quick comparison. One little thing that a lot of people thought was dumb, because, oh, well, they just changed it because they wanted to make it look different, which is true. That's probably part of it. They wanted people to be like, oh, I have the Z Fold 5, not the Z Fold 4, is the movement of the flash, right? So the flash is now here. We'll go ahead and take the phone out before I get into this rant quickly. All right, let's go ahead and open this up. Okay, there she is. Yeah, these always look especially good out of the box, but I find that the crease always looks super flat when you first open it, and then within 5 to 10 folds, you get down to where the crease will look for most of the rest of the life of the device. So, all right, so what I wanted to talk about, sticker on the back as well. All right, so what I wanted to discuss, of course, is the movement of the flash to up top right here. Now, a lot of people were saying it's stupid, it doesn't matter, the flash, it's just to make the phone look different. I would say yes, obviously it does make the phone look different, but in some ways I think it looks a little bit more sleek. So basically your camera bump is just your cameras, and then your flash is kind of flush. It's completely flat. You don't feel anything here. And the reason I like it, it's kind of a dumb reason, but I still think it makes sense. And for me, it's a big plus, is I don't usually use my phone flashlight all that much because I carry a flashlight with me. But if I get up in the middle of the night, I don't have my pants on. I don't have my flashlight clipped to my, my boxers or something. So I don't have a flashlight on me. The only flashlight I'm going to have is my phone. And the placement of the flash this low down on the Z Fold 4 and all previous folds makes it so that it's very easy to accidentally cover up the flash with your finger, right? If I'm holding the phone like this, if I want to examine something like up against a wall or a corner or something like that, it gets really difficult to do that if my finger is going to be covering up the flash, or even just to get closer to the object. If the flash is this deep down into the depth of the phone, basically from edge to the inside, it makes this flash objectively less useful. One, I can easily cover it up. Two, if I want to have the flash kind of, let's say I have a table and I want the flash to be shining down from the table from my phone. Well, now I've got to have the phone almost tipping over the table edge for the flash to still be exposed because it's this low. Now that it's placed here, that makes it way more useful. One, right, if I'm holding it like this, it's very easy for the flash to not be blocked by my hand because, well, it's at the top of the phone. So it's not really a problem. So, to me, that's a great improvement. Now, is that worth upgrading from the Z Fold 4 to the Z Fold 5? I don't think so, right? If I didn't have a YouTube channel, realistically, I probably wouldn't have upgraded, right? But I want to show you guys this cool tech. I want to make videos for you. And it was a reason enough to try out the new phone. If I don't end up liking it, who knows? Maybe I sell it in a month. But for now, my plan is to keep it. So let's go ahead and do a couple folds. Ooh, did you guys hear that? And it's always a little sketchy with the fold because it's such a large folding display. Okay. Now let's open it up again. Yeah, that sounds like there's a lot less kind of squishy plastic noises than there are on the 4. And maybe it's just my 4. Maybe I got an especially noisy one, but mine definitely does make more squishy plastic noises. So I'll go ahead and fold this again. Yeah, see, after that first fold, I don't hear any creaking, creasing noises. Now you can see the crease is already starting to develop a little bit more of a cleave there. All right, so just so that because I know people are going to say, right, people are going to comment, oh my God, your case, it's so big and it has a hinge thing, so that's where the noise is coming from. I have the hinge protector piece. The flap is open, so that's not rubbing on anything. I'm just going to be opening the phone now, right? And now we can see if the hinge makes noise, and I'll tell you it does. Now, I don't know if it's going to do it for the video, but let's hope so. Did you hear that? It's kind of like imagine that, but plastic. That's what it sounds like. And then I'm going to try and close the phone now and see if it does the same kind of creaky, creasy plastic noise. Yeah, you can hear a little bit of it. It's not as bad when you close it. When you open it, though, it's there. Has this ever really bothered me? No, I'm not picky at all. The absolute marvel of a folding phone, it's never really worn off on me. Like, yeah, okay, I get used to it, but it's still amazing to me. It's still really cool that, hey, I have a phone in my pocket that folds in half, the screen folds and everything. So, I'm not bothered by it, but let's be honest, right? Samsung is well and truly into this. This is a much more mature market than it was when they first started with the first fold. And so at this point, I think they should be keeping up with some of the competition. Now, for a while too, they had this. They were able to say, well, we have the only waterproof foldable, blah 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 blah. But that's not true anymore either with the Pixel Fold now out. And so I think increasingly they're going to have to step their game up. And I really do hope that with the Z Fold 5, or sorry, the Z Fold 6, they finally do get some important things right. Number one, get rid of this, hard radius curve for the crease, so that we get much less of a visible crease down the fold in the middle. And in addition, stuff like the S Pen being integrated and all these other features, I think they need to start getting that better. And especially, I think, for considering how much they are, considering how much they're asking for the Fold, they got to improve the cameras. You know what I mean? I know it's a tricky situation because there's not a lot of space and you're trying to make the phone thinner. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't care how thick the Fold is. I mean, it's already super thin. If they increased it by like a millimeter, I honestly don't think I would mind. I know there's people out there, oh my God, it's gonna be so heavy, it's gonna be whatever. Number one, you could put a way bigger battery in here on both sides, right? Larger, it would make this thing essentially last forever, which would be great. Secondly, you give you more depth to the actual overall case, so you could put bigger and better cameras into the phone. Again, these are, I know we're just talking about the Z Fold 5 right now, but for the 6, I think that's what Samsung needs to do. All right, let's go ahead and just boot it up real quick. Again, there's not really any major changes. And obviously this isn't a setup video. There's not really any major changes to the inner or outer display. I think they're basically identical. Oh, are we dead? Oh, no, okay, we got power. I'm pretty sure the displays are exactly the same. Your camera on the front and like in the back and inside the under display camera, they're all the same setup. I don't think the resolution of pixels that can shut off in front of the camera have changed at all either. So, that's pretty much going to be the same. All right, and there we go. There's our boot up screen. What happens if we close it? Yeah, I'm just listening for that. Ooh, yeah, this is a way smoother hinge. Now I'm noticing it's a little spring loaded, so like there's no resistance there, but yeah, there's no creakiness. So I'll fold this again. Maybe a little bit there. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, I'm hearing a little bit. Let's try opening it. Yeah, definitely way less, basically no sound opening it. Whereas I'll do my Z Fold 4. Yeah, do you guys hear that? It's just kind of like a, crinkly, like almost like, I imagine, like maybe if you were, the best way I can describe it is like, imagine you're kind of crunching up saran wrap or something like that. It's kind of what that sounds like. But I don't hear any of that on the Fold 5. Yeah, no, I don't hear anything. And then the magnets that keep it closed are much stronger, and there's not only magnets holding it closed, but it feels like the hinge mechanism has more of a detent, sort of a ridge or a bump, essentially keeping it closed. If we go to the Z Fold 3, which very strong magnets. That's one of the things I liked about the Z Fold 3 was when it was closed, it was closed. Whereas on my Z Fold 4, I actually kind of feel like it doesn't really close all that well. And you might say, well, it's just because you have a case on there. Trust me, it's this same way even without a case on. It's kind of like, it's closed, and it's not like floppy or anything. I mean, you can see it's not like flopping around, but you can see it's not a super confidence inspiring close. The Z Fold 3, it actually has a very strong, like, that is closed. You know what I mean? Let me, yeah. So, and then as far as the hinge goes, let me see, listen for the sound. Yeah, there's kind of like that sticky sounding plastic sound. I don't know if it's going to come across on a video, but it's there. I would say it's actually a little bit quieter than our on my Z Fold 4, but you know, it's still there. We'll lay these all side by side here. Hang on. And there we go. And you can see the Z Fold 3 has a taller aspect ratio, and I made a video about this before actually, and I don't remember if it was in my review video. I think this was in my separate. It was a separate video I made about the aspect ratio from going from the 3 to the 4 being a downgrade. I stand by that. You know what I mean? I think that this taller aspect ratio is better. And then if they wanted to increase the width of the cover display, they should have increased the size of the whole phone, right? Basically just stretched the phone diagonally, because that would have kept the inner aspect ratio just better for videos and content and games and stuff like that, while also increasing the width of the cover display. Now, yeah, it would make the cover display, which is what people were complaining about. And at that point, you could scale it to however you want, even, set it up so the UI would scale down the front, sort of below the camera cutout, kind of right in here. So it's really, I don't know. I think that a lot of people have this misunderstood belief, or I guess what am I trying to say, guys? I guess, yeah, they just misunderstand, or they don't understand that the front and the inside are inextricably linked. You can't change the front display without changing the aspect ratio of what is inside. And in the case of the Fold, I would say, despite a lot of people's complaints about it, I still think it has one of the better approaches to displays in terms of aspect ratio than, let's say, the Pixel Fold or any other devices, because a lot of those devices, what they do is they will give you a great cover display experience by making the cover display kind of close to a small screen phone. Like wide, when I mean wide, I mean like in terms of this width, right? And that's great. But then when you open them up, they're kind of like they're not like the same as holding a regular phone sideways, but they're also not like a full-size tablet aspect ratio. And so it's like kind of like, doesn't matter how you hold it, it will display content poorly. And I think that's something that I think is a negative. Whereas people are complaining, oh, well, this is terrible, this is terrible. They need to make it shorter and fatter. And I'm like, that's a terrible idea, because then, when you rotate your phone to play games, or even if you play it this way, it will just be more of a square, right? And that's a bad idea. In reality, what we need is this screen, the inner display, to be just a little bit taller. I think the Z Fold 3 was still okay, but if they increased it by even just like a quarter inch, like even an eighth of an inch, it would greatly increase how well it would, play with games and videos and general content. The Z Fold 4 and 5, it's not that big of a downgrade. I think it's perfectly serviceable, and technically the overall size of the screen is. I just hope that on the Z Fold 6 they don't scrunch down and make the screen even more square, because that would be a disappointment and a step backwards in my opinion. So with that being said, let me just go over the exterior design of the Fold 5, and after that, we'll have to call the end of this stream here. I don't know if you guys can see that. The screen on the inside of my, I don't know if you guys can see that. My Fold 5 or my Fold 4, it's activating because the magnets from the Fold 5. Like I said, on the flip 5, I think the button for the power button, and slash fingerprint sensor, I think that might actually be a little bit smaller, which I'm not a fan of. I would prefer that it be bigger for more accurate fingerprint scanning, but that might just be because they made the phone a little thinner. I don't actually remember from the presentation if it is any thinner. The volume rocker looks identical. The antenna cut out there, I know it's the same. I don't have a phone case on here, but it's the same. SIM slot, same place. Take a look at the hinge. Yeah, the hinge looks thinner. So I think they did make the phone overall a little bit thinner. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, it's noticeable when you look at it from this perspective. Yeah, and I don't yet have the S Pen Fold 5 edition, but the S Pen Fold edition will also work. I just don't have the smaller one yet, so waiting on that. I'll probably just include that in my main video. I probably won't do a dedicated unboxing for that. That's pretty much it, guys. I mean, and then, okay, if we take a look here, all right, at our camera cutout, or our camera bump right here, they stick out a little bit more. I know this isn't great because I have a case on here, but I'm not going to try and rip this case off right now, because if one thing I know about the Z Fold series after having 2 of them, getting the cases on and off is a pain in the butt. Like it sucks. So, but there we go. Yeah, they're definitely raised up a little bit more. So at least above the sort of island on the back here. I don't know if this actual rib bump is taller than on the Fold 5, but I do know that your camera lens bezels here, you can see, those are definitely raised up higher. It's very obvious. So that's pretty much it. And then let's take a look at the flash modules. One thing I was wondering about is the fact that this is going behind frosted glass going to affect the clarity and brightness of the flash? But it seems like even on the Fold 4, that lens that goes over the flash was also frosted, so I don't really think there's going to be any functional difference. So yeah. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. I don't need to make this stream longer than it needs to be. So if you if you liked it, you enjoyed it, give it a like, even if you're watching after the fact. If you have a Z Fold 5, or you are waiting on it, or you have a Z Flip 5, or you're waiting on it, be sure to leave a comment about it. Let me know what you're excited about. Let me know what your reason was for buying it. If you were buying it as a new owner or an upgrade, what made you make that decision? And yeah, as always, if you want to see more, don't forget to get subscribed. Give me a like I said. And, look forward to more videos on the Fold 5 and the 5 coming up, because there will be plenty. I'm going to try and do comparison videos and accessory videos. I know there's kind of a lack of accessory videos on both of these phones, so definitely going to do that as well. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and if you want to see more, don't forget to get subscribed. I'll see you guys later.